It's not enough to feel alone and not be heard. Don't know right from wrong, and your lines have all been blurred. Is it me, is it you, or is it something I deserve? 'Cause everyone else knows the children of the world.
Hi guys, today's video is about the UK general election, and I'm going to share with you my views, my own personal views, and you can listen and you can choose to agree or disagree, but I'm not somebody who likes to sit quietly, and especially when it's an important issue, when it's as important as it is right now. I think we should all get out there and vote. We should make our voices heard, and I think there is a massive feeling of revolution, of wanting to see some change, some good change, not some mindless change as we've had in the past. So full disclosure, my background is that I grew up in a very working class home, wasn't from a rich background at all. I grew up with parents who, my dad and my mum were members of the Labour Party. We went on marches when I was younger. Political debate was openly discussed in the house with not just me and my parents, but family and friends. The northeast of England, in Newcastle upon Tyne, where I'm from, is a very political area. It has had a lot of, certainly it's been a very Labour-based left-wing area of the UK. The Tory 80s, when Thatcher closed down the pits and things like that, it certainly hit the northeast really badly, and the northeast, Newcastle upon Tyne and places like that, don't forget that kind of thing. So it was openly discussed in my household, and I was always allowed to, we were allowed to contradict. It was fine, and we discussed things. My grandma, who I lost this year and who I love dearly, was a Tory, much to everybody's distaste, and I would have regular debates about her. She actually liked Theresa May. My grandma's name was Teresa, I think it was mostly that, and I would openly debate that with my grandma. So yeah, so I'm just disclosing that now. I have voted Labour in every general election. I stay open. I know I will never vote Tory, and that isn't about being closed-minded. I just can't see it happening. So I wanted to talk to you about, and to reach out to you. Maybe you've never voted before. There's going to be a lot of young people that have the chance to vote this time, which is an exciting time, and I really do think you should feel good about doing that and having your vote and making your voice heard. We get told, especially when when you're lower down the pecking order, the news and the media sort of tell you and teach you that your voice doesn't matter, and it really does. It does matter. We've seen that with Brexit. As much as I voted to remain, and it was very close on the Brexit vote. The majority voted the ones that voted for Brexit, which I'm gutted about and really disappointed in that vote. I know many people are, but also it was a time of people getting out there and voting in the way, some people just wanted change. I think people are feeling it on the ground level, and that's why this election is very, very important. So I wanted to put my thoughts out there and break it down for those of you who kind of don't know who to vote for. Obviously, this is a totally biased opinion. I would like you to vote Labour. I'm going to just put that out there. Some of you will switch off now, that's fine. But if you want to know more and the reason why, then let me tell you. So first of all, I always look at and I'm only going to talk to the two parties, the two main parties. I know there's Liberals and Greens, and to be honest, say the Green Party, for example, I don't have any issues with the Green Party. They talk sense. Everything that I read, I'm like, yeah, they're good guys, they're not talking about bad stuff. It's just they've got no chance in hell of getting in. So we need to look at what we have in front of us as well. So in terms of Labour and the Conservatives, that's what I'm going to talk about. My reasons for voting Labour, I look at the past histories of both political parties, because it shouldn't just be about who's the face at the moment, because the reason they're the face of the moment is because they looked at whoever was the face of the past and they thought they were doing good. So look at the past of what's gone on and then go, these people now, they looked at those people and they thought they were doing good. So even if, say, for example, you may see Theresa May as more centre right than say Thatcher, she grew up seeing Thatcher and seeing her as somebody that was doing good. If you disagree with that, then you will disagree with Theresa May and David Cameron previous term. What I'm seeing on a ground level with people, normal, everyday working people, is that they are being hit left, right and centre. I am seeing people around me who have had disability cuts. My husband's auntie is very severely disabled and they've had a massive hit in funding to help with her. We are seeing, when obviously the hospital thing is a big thing for me. My husband has brain cancer. I've actually been in hospital a lot myself with my children, so I've seen a difference even in the last 5 or 6 years in terms of this, you know, how stretched the NHS is. I see it in terms of appointment times. I see it in terms of not being able to get an MRI for my husband because he's having to wait because there isn't enough funding going into it. I hear it from the doctors and the consultants and those that are, you know, our oncologists will discuss it, and he will say, you know, it's about the young people, is what he said to us. He said the world is a village, the world is a small place, and it's about the young people. And you know, the people within the NHS are disgusted at what is going on and the cuts that they are facing. So I'm going to list you some of the key points in the Labour manifesto that I think are good. I think these would be good things for us. And I think that, you know, there's a big long list of them, but let me just run through some of them that I think you would like and that I liked. Class sizes under 30, so looking at schools, they're really focusing on the NHS and the schooling system, which are integral to who we are and having a civilised, decent society. Class sizes under 30, a new minister for mental health, that is massive. We need to talk about mental health more. We need to have people focused on that. EMA being reintroduced. EMA was help with it was funded for people 16 to 18 to be able to get to college. I remember being in college and that helping people that came from troubled backgrounds that couldn't get there. When I lived in Loughton in Essex, a lot of the East London people were going to Stratford College, which was in Loughton, and they wouldn't have been able to get there if the EMA had been cut then. They just wouldn't. They used that to get the tube from East London into Loughton to be able to do that. And if the EMA didn't come in, they often couldn't get there. They weren't from privileged backgrounds, they didn't have money, and that got them to college and allowed them to move up the pecking order. So it's really important, and bringing that back was a big deal. The Tories cut that and Labour would bring that back. Fines for rogue landlords. So people, you know, there are landlords out there. My husband is a landlord, and our family is we are landlords within the family. We have property, and my husband is an amazing landlord, and yet we watch programs and we see things where people are living in squalor, and that's not okay. That is not okay. So that's a good thing. Nurses training bursaries, ban 0-hour contracts, okay? 3 billion more education funding. Again, education is massive. This is a big talking point for the Labour Party, and we have to remember, this is our children, this is our futures, these are our future doctors. We have to allow people to have this, and not just for the small few. £500 more per year for unpaid carers. There are many people around the world, including children and young people, who are caring for somebody within their home, and this is acknowledging that this is a job, this is a full-time thing, and that they need help with that, and that does help in turn take the pressure off other services. National care service for the elderly. Again, look, and we have an older generation now. You know, people are living for longer, and we need to find ways to be able to help people and to be able to take the pressure off the NHS, and sectioning that out and having something for the elderly is important. Renationalising water companies and the National Rail, that's a big thing. I think over the last however many years since that has been given off to private companies, we have just seen massive increases. It's crazy. If I want to get a train, I tried to book a train not long ago to Newcastle from the Midlands, which in the car, you know, I don't know, maybe cost me £40-50 in the car, and on train it was going to cost me over £200 for a return journey. That is insane. I can leave this country for cheaper. We can't continue for that to be, that's not okay. That is really not okay. The trains and the buses used to be something that poorer people could use and get about, and it's good for the environment. Is crazy. Okay, energy cap on fuel. Again, fuel prices are, it's just crazy. It's nuts. People cannot afford to eat or live, and we cannot afford to do things because we have given everything off to private companies and went, there you go, off you go, and we haven't left anything for the people. Halt cuts to women's refuges. Abolish tuition fees. This is a huge thing. Abolishing tuition fees. Free school meals. Another massive big thing. It's taking this back and going, it's important. Our children are important. We need to be able to allow them to move and to be able to, you know, move up the pecking order. So it means that people who don't come from a privileged background are allowed to have a chance to be able to move. Where you are born, it's just potluck. What family, what level. And I absolutely do not begrudge anybody being born into a wealthy family or having wealth or having more wealth. There's nothing wrong with that. It's about what you do when you have that privilege. It's about understanding that privilege. I understand now that I have moved myself up a pecking order, and my dad and my mum and dad worked really hard to be able to move themselves up that. And I've worked damn hard to be able to get myself in a position where I'm okay. I'm doing pretty good. That doesn't mean that I just go, oh, I'm okay now, so screw everybody else, forget that. Of course I'm not going to do that. Of course I'm not going to do that, because my values don't, that's not my value system. Okay, continuing. £10 minimum wage. Again, a needed thing. You have to move with the times. 6 billion for the NHS. I'm massively in favour of this. We have to reorganise what is going on in the NHS, granted, but we have to look at this and go, this is our baby. This is so important. I saw something this week that was, it was a lady from America, and it was a letter to the people of the UK to say, you need to recognise how lucky you are with the NHS. If what had happened in Manchester had happened in America, those people that were facing all those losses and loss of life and all these injuries in a horrific attack would then be faced on top of that with a bill to pay for their loved ones who maybe didn't survive care, for their own continued care, for being attacked. That is mental. That is mental. We want to live in a society where our NHS flourishes, and the Tories are slyly privatising it. I went to the walk-in centre nearest to us recently, and I got a text message after being there to say, how did I find a Virgin hospital, whatever it was like Virgin Care. And I was like, what? They are privatising it behind our backs. We cannot let this happen. Next up, 10,000 new police, super important. Look at Manchester. We need to invest in our police. 3,000 new firefighters, 3,000 new prison officers. These are all jobs. This is all stuff going back into us and keeping us safe. I'm trying to do it quick so it's not too long. Stop the bedroom tax, another thing that has been horrific for the poorer people. Post office closures halted. Free NHS parking. I spent £40 in 3 days the other day on NHS parking. That is mental. That is penalising me for my husband having brain cancer and for being ill in hospital. And that is a lot of money. That's a lot of money for paying to park on a bit of land. And it's not like you can say, oh, well, park somewhere else and walk. They have cordoned off the streets miles around it, so you can't even do that. It's not feasible, and it's insane, and it's cruel. It's really cruel. NHS parking scrapped. Halt Tory school cuts. Enough cutting the poorer people because your children are in private education. Enough. Renationalise. The Rails said that interest-free loans for homeowners to improve their property, extended maternity leave to up to a year, looking at the family, allowing people to be mums. They've also increased paternity leave and pay, double the number of I've forgotten what I've written there. Oh, what is that? I don't know what I wrote down. I can't read my own handwriting. Help to buy funding extended to 2027. These are all, this is like a tiny bit of what has been discussed, but these are important stuff. The Labour Party is on the side of the people, and it is not against business. It is not against people moving up the ladder. It's completely the opposite. It is about going, do you know what? Social responsibility. I know that doesn't matter where I get to, that I want to pay tax, that I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to put back into society, because not everybody can do the things that I can do. Not everybody can start their own business. Not everybody can do that. And that's okay. You don't have to do that. What we need is a society where people can live and people can get on and people can live harmoniously together. And I'm sure there will be some of you that will start going, it's not bloody plausible, and you're a snowflake, or whatever else people shout at you on Twitter. I don't care, because do you know what? I want to live in a society that is more peaceful and caring to those that can't do it. That those that can't do work, they can't do things like that. Disabled people, elderly people. I want to live in a society where we protect the most vulnerable. So on the general election, I will be voting Labour, and I will be voting against this Tory policy of privatising everything, cutting disability benefits. Theresa May wants to keep fox hunting, for God's sake. What? Enough. So go out there. What else was I going to say to you? I think that was it. Just, yeah, vote sensibly. We've all had enough. We've all sick of seeing this load of crap that is going on. Let's look to something new. And I looked into Jeremy Corbyn quite a lot. I was undecided at the start, and I've seen him speak over the last few weeks, and I'm on board, and I will be voting Labour. I'm sure you will comment below. I don't want a big rant and argument about it, but let's do something good. Let's really show people that we are a good civil society, and we want peace. And I'm knackered now, tired. See you later. Peace.
It's not enough to feel alone and not be heard. Don't know right from wrong, and your lines have all been blurred. Is it me, is it you, or is it something